fellow gamers. Welcome to Beyond the Games. Today, we're going to be discussing PlayStation 5 Pre-order Invitations. So, I seen the post online today, and I do have what they have is an FAQ, like frequently asked questions. So, they have this web page, and I'm going to link it in the description. So, it says, frequently asked questions for PlayStation 5 console pre-order invitations from PlayStation. So I'm going to go through the frequently asked questions here. Like I said, I'm going to link this down below if you want to see it. So the first question is, who will be selected to receive an invitation? Our selection is based on previous interest and PlayStation activities. It's pretty random. Previous interests. So, I mean, people have tweeted Sony or PlayStation asking about pre-orders. I mean, I think there's a whole subreddit. The PS5 subreddit is full of people showing great interest in PlayStation 5 pre-orders, price, dates, the whole works, and PlayStation activity. So, someone that only plays one game 3 times a week is, maybe not eligible. I don't know. It's a pretty weird way to say that, based on previous interest and PlayStation activities. All right, so that's an answer, I guess. When will I know if I've been selected or not? If you are selected, we will contact you via email before pre-orders start. If you do not receive an email, you are not selected. Well, no shit. But again, you'll be contacted via email before pre-orders start. So whenever pre-orders come, which we haven't got a date for, so here we go. But if you haven't received an email, you're not selected. So still pretty vague answer. But I guess if you haven't received an invitation email before pre-orders go live for everybody else, I guess you just have to pre-order like everybody else. If I receive an invitation, am I guaranteed to be able to pre-order a PlayStation 5 console? The answer to this question is no. Each invitation is open for a limited time and quantities are limited per PlayStation Network ID per transaction. So, I guess if you receive it I guess the email would come and it would have your ID listed in it. I guess that's how you are able to make the pre-order. I'm not sure. Still kind of vague, but they list here. They list that what'll be available, apparently, is one PlayStation 5 console or one PlayStation 5 Digital Edition. You can pre-order 2 DualSense controllers. You can pre-order 2 DualSense charging stations. You can pre-order 2 Pulse 3D wireless headsets, 2 media remotes, and 2 HD cameras. It says PlayStation 5 console pre-order reservations will be first come, first serve. So in other words, you get the invitation, there's a limited time, and quantities are limited. So in other words, they sent out 100 invitations. We're just going to use the number 100. 100 invitations, and you have until August 31st. We're just going to throw a random date out, August 31st, to pre-order. So on September 1st, if you haven't pre-ordered, if your thing runs out, say, on the 31st, we're just using random numbers. This isn't anything I know. This isn't any leak information now. Just using the date, and I'm using the random numbers. So 100 invitations go out, and they say you have until August 31st to pre-order. If you don't pre-order before the end of day August 31st, then that one of those 100 consoles must get put back in the pool for everybody else. That's my guess on how it works. So, but it says PlayStation 5 console pre-order reservations will be first come, first serve. So I'm still not sure what they mean by that comment. If they're setting aside, and I'll get to that in a minute, I think they say later on, they say they're setting aside so many. But anyways, so here it is. The next question said, in order to pre-order, do I have to pre-order everything? Because like I said, I just read off what was available. And they said, no, as long as your product selection falls within unit limits, you may pre-order as many or as few products as you'd like. Okay? So you want a PlayStation 5, which I do believe comes with a controller, right? I mean, they wouldn't sell a console with a controller. So you get a one PlayStation 5 you can order, whether it's the regular edition or the digital. You can order 2 extra controllers, 2 chargers, 2 headsets, 2 media remotes, and 2 cameras. So unless you're a streamer, and I mean the 2 cameras, I mean unless they can do something to allow you to like switch through cameras like you can do with like a Stream Deck using OBS and shit. I mean, 2 cameras is kind of pointless on one console. Unless you plan on, someone else in the house also buying one, and you could pre-order all this stuff so that they don't have to worry about console day getting the actual console. I guess there's an advantage. 2 controllers and 2 charging stations, sure, why not? 2 headsets, I guess, so you don't have to share headsets. 2 remotes and 2 cameras are the weird thing. Anyways, that's what's available for pre-order if you get this invitation. So then it says, how long will I have to make my PlayStation 5 console pre-order reservation? So it said, if selected, the expiration date and time will be included in your selection notification and while supplies last. So, like I said, my guess is if they say you have to order it on this date, if you don't, then you can't order it using your reservation. You have to wait for regular pre-orders. It says, can I reserve more than 1 PlayStation console per pre-order? It says, due to limited quantities and high demand, we are limiting PlayStation 5 console pre-orders reservations to 1 per PlayStation ID. So if someone happens to have 2 PlayStation IDs, could they get 2 emails and pre-order 2 consoles? I'm guessing that's going to happen. That's my guess. I guess someone will somehow get lucky enough, and that's what's going to happen. But there you go. 1 per PlayStation ID. No 1 per house, not 1 per address, not, 1 per, payment method or anything. It's 1 per PlayStation ID. So potentially someone could have 5 IDs and get 5 emails. I have no idea. Will other PlayStation 5 products be available for pre-order? The answer to that is yes. All of these will be open to the general public for pre-order. Only PlayStation 5 console reservations will be limited to those invited to pre-order. So they're just console reservations. So, like I said, this is still something that I find really strange. Like this is odd. And what if I receive a sold out message? All PlayStation 5 consoles have been reserved. All available PlayStation 5 consoles have been reserved. So what does that mean? So all available PlayStation 5 consoles have been reserved. So in other words, if they're sending out 100 of these emails, they have 100 of these PlayStation 5 set aside for these 100 individuals, or 200 or 1,000 or 7 million. Who knows? No idea. They're just random number of people are getting sent emails with an option to pre-order the console. What about the rest of us? What about me? So it says, and this is the point that fucking soured me when I seen this. So this not this point, but this I'll end it with what soured me. I currently reside outside the U.S. If invited, can I make the PlayStation 5 console pre-order reservation? If you receive an invite and units are still available, as long as you ship to a US-based address, your pre-order reservation will be allowed. Any orders that contain a non-US based address will be canceled. So we're getting to the point that pisses me off. This is available for people in the United States only. They are not sending out emails to anybody in Canada, anyone in other countries, UK, etc., etc. I have no idea what countries PlayStation 5s are going to be available in day one. I have no idea because no one knows when they're even going to be available. So here we go. We have PlayStation 5 pre-order reservations being sent out to a group of people in the United States. We still don't have a date, we still don't have a price, and we still don't have when the pre-order, because they said they're going to announce pre-orders and then give people time then before the pre-order goes live to actually get ready to make the pre-order. So they're not going to wake up on a Tuesday morning and go, oh, pre-orders today. They're not doing that. They're going to give you a heads up. In other words, they didn't say how long of a heads up. We could be wake up Tuesday morning and they could say pre-orders tomorrow. Like, we don't know. We have no fucking idea. We're still in the dark. We've gotten rumored information that November. Well, we all knew it was going to be either late October or November anyways, because both console manufacturers said holiday 2020, which falls into late October to mid-November sales period anyways. So here we go. Here's an extra bit on top of this whole PlayStation 5 pre-order reservation shit. People are constantly asking, when are we going to get a price? When are we going to get a launch date? Etc. The question's been asked 4 million times, I think, a day on Reddit. So here's my 2 cents on this. The Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are both using the new AMD RDNA 2 graphics processor. AMD has already stated in more than one interview I've read where the new AMD GPUs will be available to PC gamers first. So what that means is that they're not going to announce a launch date for a PlayStation 5 or the Series X until AMD announces a launch date for their graphics cards. Because if we say if Sony or Microsoft come out and said we're launching our console, and I'm using this as random dates, November 3rd, right? I'm just showing a random date, November 3rd. I don't know if it's I don't know what day of the week that is. I'm not even looking at the calendar. We're just throwing out a date, November 3rd. So automatically, anybody would know that the AMD GPUs, the new ones, before AMD actually announces anything, are going to be available before November 3rd. So it kind of takes away, their chance to make an announcement to the public about when their new GPUs are going to be available. So with both consoles being built by AMD, or built with AMD technology, I shouldn't say by AMD, but with AMD technology, I imagine they are embargoed or NDA'd, or whatever you want to call it, to not announce their launch date until AMD has officially announced the launch date of their new GPUs. Now, and I can guarantee you, Microsoft and Sony aren't going to want to release price and date on different times, because no one wants that. It's going to be, they're going to announce everything all one and done. They're going to announce the launch date, they're going to announce the price, and they're also going to announce when pre-orders are going to open. It's going to be a 3-hit announcement from Sony, and I imagine Microsoft is going to do the same thing. And they maybe even do them on the same day. Who knows? We have no clue yet. It's all speculation. Anything you read and anything you see right now, unless it comes from someone at Sony, is all speculation. Same thing as my comment about AMD saying to the two console manufacturers, well, you can't say your launch date until we say ours. I mean, that's speculation. But it makes sense, because if Sony or Microsoft announce their console launch date, they say it's going to launch on this day, then automatically the GPUs are going to be available at least, the day before, if not maybe even 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month before. We have an NVIDIA announcement coming on the 1st of September, and there's a lot of been rumor and speculation over the last few weeks about NVIDIA. But we're going to get some information in a few days from them. And then it's going to be, I imagine, shortly after that, when there's going to be a small window, and then I imagine AMD is going to have their press conference. I'm expecting an announcement from AMD within a few days of their next upcoming press conference. Because, they're going to have to act soon, because, here we are, almost September, and they're going to have to make announcements because the console manufacturers need to make their announcements. And people are getting panicky. There was a slew of posts on Reddit that were just, it was the mods were in there just mopping them up and closing them out and shutting. There was just post after post. There's so many people that are constantly wanting to know this information. So if they're waiting on AMD needs to light a fire, and they need to get their shit announced, because I'm also waiting on AMD. Because I'm waiting on to purchase a new GPU. My old 1060 is showing its age, and I need to upgrade that as well. So this is going to be an expensive year for me, 2020, a new GPU and a new console. So, so on that note, that's a bit of a blurb for you. Stay tuned. I got some more content creator interviews coming. I'm hoping to get some lined up very, very soon and out next week. If not, possible game discussion. If I can't get an interview lined up and get it out, I'm going to have something for you this week. I'm not going to leave you hanging. But, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And if I come across any more information, or if you happen to come across any information, don't feel like you can't share it. Share it. Drop me a line on Twitter. Hit me up in the comment section. So if you see something that is different than what I'm reading, and about maybe console reservations being open to other countries, hey, if that happens, I'm going to be ecstatic, because I'm that at least we're inclusive. Even if I don't get an email, at least they didn't forget about us. So like I said, as I say every time, thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.